So I have because I work with little kids, I have a long wait time. So I'm not going to jump in on you if you're trying to figure out a word, because generally if you say, I don't get this word, or I'm not sure, then I'll jump in. But I have found that if I just give you a few seconds, that usually you'll go back and start the word over, you'll figure it out. So I don't jump in. So I encourage the rest of you not to jump in on someone. Let them see. And if they'll ask for it if they need it. Don't be shy to ask for help. We're all friends here. Even the exterminator, he's a friend here. So just don't exterminate us. So I asked my rabbi about the Shema, and I asked why some people at the end of the Shema say echad and like really accentuate the daled. And he showed me that in the Torah last Shabbat, that the shin and the resh are very big. And it's because if echar could be mixed up with echad, they're two separate words. So we always want to make sure we're saying echad. I cannot recall what achar is, but so that's why we say that. I was curious. I also asked about Baruch Shem Kavod. Reform synagogues say it every day, every time out loud. Conservative only on Yom Kippur. And he said, because that is one when the Kohanim say it out loud on Yom Kippur and they go down on their knees. So that is the only time that we say it, because that's when the Kohanim say it. That was the best answer I could get for you. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody was asking if we could do the Via Hafta. We will do that if we have time, but that's why I encourage you to practice on your own, to keep going over it. So today we are going to talk about the first prayer we're going to look at is Birkat HaGomel, which I had never even heard of until I maybe had heard of it, but not until I started doing this class. And here's what I learned about it. Has anybody heard it before or aware of Birkat HaGomel?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, Judy, you know?
No.
So the origins.
Doesn't it have to do with recovering from illness?
Yes.
Yes.
So the origins are found in the Talmud, in which the sages teach that a person who survives one of 4 specific types of calamities is required to offer thanks. Those who go down to the sea, those who travel through the desert, those who are ill and recovered, those who were incarcerated in prison and then released. I think we could extend that for others. Life was treacherous then, during the times of the Talmud, and people often encountered life-threatening situations just in their everyday lives. Judaism encourages us to expand the reasons to include things like a car accident, a major surgery, giving birth, things that confine someone to their bed. But they warn not to make this a common occurrence. Finishing a cold or getting over a stomach ache is not something that you would recite Hagomel for. And an author named Ellen Frankel suggests that some survivors of these situations may experience survivor guilt. When you say this in front of your friends and congregants, it helps confirm that that survival is actually a miracle, and that the call and response format may help assuage the guilt and provide support from the community. And usually the person who's going to recite Birkat HaGomel receives the first aliyah. So it's not very long. Actually, I'm lying and saying that we're going to first do the blessings before and after the Torah, because that comes first. And many of you know them, but it's a good review. All right, come on. There we go.
Is that what we're doing right now? Blessings
Yes,
before
we're going
and
to do the blessings before and after the Torah, and then we'll do Birkat HaGomel.
after? Okay.
So I think I told you, I'm not sure if I told you before, but when I did not realize that this is the Baruch Hu until I taught this class. It just never connected the Baruch Hu and the Torah blessing. Different tune, but same words. So let me get you all on my screen here. And I have my handy dandy cheat sheet for whoever made that up for me. Thank you. My husband says it's a Zoom setting, but it seems like everything is a Zoom setting for me. So would someone like to be the reader and somebody else be the congregation? We'll take turns doing it.
I'll do the reading.
Thanks, Helene.
Okay.
And who would like to be the congregation? Thank you to, she's raising her hand. I'm looking on my cheat sheet. I
Okay.
don't think you're on there. Tell me your name.
Harriet.
Thank you, Harriet. Go for it.
Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamarach.
Baruch, wait, yeah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Hold on, you have to repeat the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
what she
Yeah,
just
right,
said.
You know, okay. I'm Bat Leve, so I do this every other week.
Gotcha. I know, but still, when you get
I
up there,
forgot. Yes, I forgot. I always do it.
it happens so
I-
easily.
Absolutely, and I did it with the other, the Halevi, and I did it together on Simchas Torah, and we could not get it together. And the
It
rabbi said,
happens.
"Do you have to practice this?" Okay,
It
so
happens.
Let me start again. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher B'cha Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Good job.
Amen.
So, and then if you would recite
Yeah.
for us the last,
Yeah.
so you've had your Aliyah, they read the
Finish.
Torah, now you
And
read
then
the
the rabbi
last part.
points at you,
Yes,
nods to you to start. Okay.
we're at
And
the
I
bottom.
find and I find that, yes, I find the bottom one harder. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam naseh b'tochenu.
Hold on, let's go back to that word before betochenu,
Nasa.
not ta.
Nata.
I know,
Thank
it's rounded like a sign.
Every week. Okay.
It's okay.
Let me do that. Okay. It's ata. B'tochenu baruch B'tochenu baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Wonderful job, ladies. And you do not have to sing it for this class. You can just.
I know. I know.
That's okay.
But thank
All
you.
right, do we have
Thank you for the
another?
nata, because that's the one place I always get stuck when I'm doing it. Okay.
All right,
thank
do we
you.
have another honoree and congregation? Elaine, which part would you like?
I'll do the beginning, starting with Baruch et Adonai.
All right, and Helene, do you want to be the congregation?
Sure.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Ready? Baruch et Adonai Habarah.
All right, hold on, look at that first word again.
Baruch et Adonai Habarah.
Hamborach with a chuk, right?
Hamvorach, yes.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Hold on, you have to repeat what she just said.
Oh, Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mekol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Nice job. And if you notice, it says the person that's being honored repeats the above response. Well, by then you're already on to the next one. So I wish they would move that up, but okay. And thank you. Would you read, Elaine, would you read the bottom one? Now you've had your honor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam Nata Bato Enu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Beautiful. Do we have another honoree?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm gonna get it. Robin. And Judy, did you want to respond?
Sure.
All right, go for it, Robin.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach La'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Do I continue?
Yes, you continue.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Nice job.
Beautiful.
Would you read the bottom one?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Yasher Koach.
Very good.
Do we have another honoree?
All right, I'll do something.
Okay, Corinne and
Terry,
Terry, do you want to respond?
sure.
Okay,
Am I the honoree?
you're the honoree. You have the aliyah.
Thanks for the honor.
You're welcome, Corinne.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Beautiful. Would you read the next one, Corinne?
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Yasher Koach, both of you. Do we have another set? Who would like to read? Go for it. You could be the first one.
Okay, I'll do it.
Great. And we need someone to be the congregation. All right. Hold on. Gail, would you be the congregation?
Yeah, okay. Oops. Okay.
Okay. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Beautiful. Would you do the next one?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'haye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Yasher Koach. Would someone like a turn who hasn't had a turn yet? Or if you've been the congregation, you can be the honoree. Helene, would you like to be the honoree this time?
Yes, thank you.
And do we have someone who will be the congregation?
All right, I'll be the congregation.
Well, hold on, Corinne. Let's give somebody maybe a chance who hasn't done any of them yet.
Okay.
Great, Andrea, thank you.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch, oh boy, I know this back and forth.
I know.
Baruch, wait a minute. Baruch hu et Adonai Hambarach. Baruch, wait a minute. Baruch hu et Adonai, wait a minute. I'm all off. Oh my God.
That's okay.
Wait a minute.
Second line.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Good job.
Baruch
don't
Adonai
frazzle.
Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Would you do the next one?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Yishar koach. So
Thank
would someone
Todah
else like
Rabbi.
it? Would someone else like to practice? Terry, did you want a chance?
I'd like to do the honorary.
All right. Can we have someone be the congregation? Maybe someone who hasn't done something yet? All right. Thank you, Sandy.
Baruch Adonai Hamarak.
Baruch Adonai Hamabarak Le'olam V'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten hat Torah.
Nice job. Next one, Terry.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata bito banu.
So close. That's a chaf. Betoch.
Beto Hanu.
Take a look at the vowel. Betoch.
Beto Henu.
There you go.
I do wear glasses to read, but
It's okay.
Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Nice job, Yishar koach. Anybody else want to practice?
I have a question, Debbie.
Yes, Helene.
It's on the second part. Will you get to let's see. V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu.
Yep.
It doesn't, for me, it doesn't, I always stumble over it, even though I do it like every other week, because it just doesn't seem to flow. Maybe it's a melody.
Is
Yes.
it that you don't have a consonant on the end of nata? Is that what's bothering you?
Nata, no, yeah, it just seems I don't get the flow. Olam nata b'tochenu.
I know my husband gets very frustrated, especially in Ashrei, when you have this amount of melody, but we have to shove all these words into this amount of melody.
Exactly.
You're not the only one who gets frustrated by that.
Okay.
I guess we Jews have a lot to say in a short amount of time.
In 3 hours, right?
Right. Only in 3 hours.
Only in 3 hours on a Saturday morning. Okay.
So would anybody else like a chance to practice? All right, going once, going twice. Soul to Birkat HaGomel. Actually, here is the, I didn't put up the transliteration of the Baruch. All right. So here's Birkat HaGomel. So as you see, the person who is recovering from whatever experience they had reads the first part. And then we as females will say this third line. And if it was a group that came up, then the grammar would change for the last, we would respond. So if it's a male, you respond to the first line. If it's a female who survived, it's the second line. And for a group, it's the last line. So how about if we do this? How about if someone volunteers to be the survivor, someone else will read the male, someone else will read the female, and someone else will read the group. So everybody will get a chance to read something.
Debbie,
Okay,
on
Lori,
my screen, it's cut off.
Cut off. Interesting.
Yeah.
Can you
have it on
resize
side.
it?
I have it side by side speaker. Let me try and resize.
Can you resize it? Because I can't really change
I
it.
know. Well, I have it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I
Okay.
just had to move it over.
So
Never
Laura,
mind.
you had your hand up. Which part did you want to do?
First part.
The survivor. All right, we need a male. Thank you so much to Maureen, a female.
And a female.
Thank you, Linda, and someone to read if it's a group.
I'll
Thank
do
you
it.
so much, Robin. All right, don't worry, everybody's going to get a chance to do one of them. All right, Birkat HaGomel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hagomel lahayavim tovot shegmalani kol tov.
And could you read that for us in English so we know what you just said?
Baruch atah Adonai, our God, that part.
Yes.
Sovereign of time and space, who bestows goodness on us despite our imperfections, and who has treated me so favorably.
So it's so interesting that it's defined as our imperfections, that I would think that a lot of times these things that happen are not our fault. So I thought it was an interesting translation. Because it might have nothing to do with our imperfections. Okay.
And tovot is goodness as opposed, tov is good. So tovot is goodness?
Yes.
Okay.
And also kol tov, they're defining that as favorably, but good.
Okay.
All right, the male response.
Me, Sheg Malach.
Sheg malcha. Malacha. Because see, there's the
Ma. But isn't the lamed not the shva silent because it goes with the mem?
it does, but then you have to sheg malacha.
But it sounds like you're pronouncing the shva.
Sheg malcha. Okay. Yes, sheg malcha.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's just hard for me to figure out because of the ending without the vowel in front, without the letter. Sheg malcha, kol tov, hu, yig molcha, kol tov, selah.
All right. Would you read that in English for us?
May the one who has shown such favor to you continue to bestow all that is good upon you forever.
Thank you. How about the female one?
Me, Shegmalech, Kol Tov, Hu, Yigmalech, Kol Tov, Selah.
Thank you. And for the group?
Me, me, Shegmalchem, Kol Tov, Hu, Yigmalchem, Kol Tov, Selah.
Beautiful.
And it's interesting, I've got Sim Shalom in front of me, and the translation is, praised be you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, showing goodness to us beyond our merits for bestowing favor upon me.
And which book is that?
This is Sidur Sim Shalom.
Shalom. Interesting. Just, you know, the person who interpreted, I find it interesting. Helene, did you have your hand up?
Which one?
I did, and then
Yeah. You
I did,
became
then I put it
Hannah,
down.
and I'm going to become Sylvia. Okay. I'll change my name too.
Oh, you don't have to.
People get us confused all the time.
I should just call you by your last names, Gratz and Herman.
How about Sylvia?
All right.
Do they sometimes do this when you are going on a trip, or am I confused?
I don't think that. I think they do a different blessing.
Okay.
Tova.
I think they
I-
do this when you return from a trip. don't
When you
they?
return from a trip? No?
yeah, that would make sense if they're doing it after a voyage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Need to
okay.
think about the time that they, you know, this was written. Just going anywhere could have been challenging and dangerous.
Both, if I may, both
Sure.
interpretations, both interpretations, translations indicate that somehow we are not wonderful, but God takes care of us anyway.
Hmm.
In this one, it talks about imperfections, and in Sim Shalom, it says, what did it say? What was the translation?
The translation was beyond our merits.
Yeah, we're
And yeah,
beyond our merits.
same,
So I guess,
Siddur Hadash, same thing.
yeah.
Same thing.
So God is saving us because
Yeah.
we're us.
Correct.
Can I
All
ask
right,
a question?
Yes.
Did you ask it like Birkat Gomel, Birkat Maison? What is Birkat? Why do they not say like Baracha Hagomel? Why Birkat? What does that mean?
Blessing, like the birkat, the blessing.
Okay.
So when we say birkat hamazon, the blessings for food. I believe that's that is the word. So
Isn't it the
Sandy?
plural of bracha?
Yeah, well, bracha is brachot. So I guess I have to figure out, I have to ask what is birkat exactly. Because with,
A
I
different.
can't
tense,
look
I
on my,
think.
I'll look on my phone because I can't look on my computer.
I think it's a different tense of the word.
Yeah. Let me look. It's grace after meals, but that's not really what it is. So I'll look it up and get back
Thank
to
you.
you.
Just interesting to find what the word means.
Right.
Would somebody else like to be this time the survivor? I feel like we're on a game show, the survivor.
I'll do it.
Thank you,
Gail.
Gail. Now we need someone to read the male response.
I'll be the guy.
Thank you, Sivia. The female.
I'll be the female.
Who
Terry.
said that? Terry, and a group.
I'll be the group.
Okay, Hannah. Don't worry, everybody's going to get a chance.
Okay, ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hagomel l'chayavim tovot sheg malani kol tov.
Yishar koach. The
Me,
male response.
me shegmalcha kol tov. Hu yigmalcha, yes, yigmalcha kol tov selah.
Yishar koach. Female.
Misha Gomel.
Hold on, let's look at that again. Try that again.
Me. Share. Gomel. Mela.
So close. So it's sheg. What's the
Sheg.
vowel under the mem?
Shegmal. La.
Check the vowel under lamed. You're so close. Sheg ma.
Is it 2 dots or is it a line?
It is. It is.
Oh, lay.
Good. Put it together.
Shegom. Malek. Maleka. Malek.
Sheg ma lech.
Le.
Can you repeat it?
Shegmal. Lake.
There you go.
Kol tov. Who? Yig. Malak. Malek. Baal. Tov.
It's kol.
Oh, Kol. Kol Tov. Malek.
Check out that last word again. That's a
Selah.
samech.
Thank you so much.
Selah.
Selah. Good. I didn't realize that the first shin word is sheg malech, but the second one is, well, it's a different form, but it's yig melech. So there's no ah. So it's shig malech, the first one, it's yig melech, second one. I thought they were the same. All right. Nice job, Terry.
Thank you.
This is really pressing our grammar here. All right, in the group.
Mi shag melchem kol tov hu yigmalchem kol tov selah.
Wonderful. All right,
Only
how about
because
somebody-
you went over it with that other lovely person.
So this time, let's have people who have not gotten to read anything in this prayer yet have a turn. Sandy, what would you like to do? I saw your hand up.
Oh, I was just gonna say that in the
one of the Sims Shalom editions, the one I have, which is an older one, it does say under Birkat Gomel, Birkat recited by one who has recovered from serious illness, one who's returned safely from a long journey, or one who has survived any type of danger, including childbirth.
Thank you, Sandy. So yes, if you've been on a long trip, I wonder what they consider a long trip, but it's what you feel you've survived. I've never seen it done though. That's interesting. All right. Do we have go ahead. Your hand's up. Linda, you be the survivor. We need a male responder. Andrea, Harriet, would you be female?
Yes.
We need a group. Thank you. Is that Elaine?
Yes.
Thank you, Elaine. All right, let's hear it. Linda, you're muted. You're talking to us, but we can't hear you.
I'm muted. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
didn't have my hand up to volunteer to read again. I was responding to you never heard it read before. I actually did read it about 9 years ago. I was in a traffic accident that I, by all rights, should not have survived, and I did. And so I did recite it. But at the time, I couldn't read a lick of Hebrew, and the rabbi actually read it, and he read like a few words, and I responded
Repeated
after he did. So like he read like Baruch Atah Adonai, and I repeated it, and then he read the next few, and I repeated it.
Well,
So,
thank God that you survived it, and look how far you've come. Now you can read it.
About 5 years ago, I had an adult bat mitzvah, and prior to that, I started taking Hebrew lessons, and that's why I can read what I can read right now.
Well, Yishar Koach to you. So
Thank you.
we have the male, female, and group. Do we have someone who wants to be the survivor?
All right, I will.
Okay, Corinne, have you had a chance to read any of this?
No, I read
Okay.
the other one.
Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hagomel lechavim tovot, shegamlani kol tov.
Nice. It's a lot to put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Male,
Mi shegmalcha kol tov hu yigmalcha kol tov selah.
nice, Andrea.
Thank you.
Next.
Me shegma lech
Yeah.
kol tov hu yig malech kol tov selah.
Nice, Harriet. Group. Elaine, you have to unmute for us. You sound better when you're unmuted.
Sorry, someone's about to ring my bell and my mind.
That's okay.
Mi sheg malhem kol tov hu yigmal hem kol tov selah.
Beautiful. I'd rather them ring your bell than clean your clock. All right. Does anybody else want to turn to practice? Sure. Okie dokie. My computer is being weird. My mouse just decides to do stuff. My mouse goes away and then I can't stop the share. So give me a second. There we go. So we have a little bit of time still to do, what did I have next?
That's the Kaddish? Was it
Yes, the
Hatzi
Kaddishes.
Yeah, the Hatzi Kaddish.
When it goes crazy like this, then it's hard for me to see what is next. So we'll get started on the Kaddishes. We might get through them. So let me see if where I have the Kaddishes. I did not do a history of the Kaddishes, but there are actually 4 different Kaddishes. We're just going to go over 3. There is the Hatzi Kaddish, which is the half Kaddish. And that is what we do to separate different parts of the service. Then we have the mourner's Kaddish, which we recite when someone is in mourning or has a yard site. And then there's the full Kaddish, which usually comes on Shabbat morning at the end, toward the end of Musaf. And then there's another Kaddish that is said, and I can't remember when exactly it's said.
There's a rabbi's Kaddish also, right?
Kaddish de Rabbanan, I believe.
Yes.
Which I know the bat mitzvah class has worked on. It's a much more difficult one. So we're not going to cover that one, but we will cover all the others and look at how they are different. And then there's different melodies or nusachs for if it's Friday night, if it's weekday, if it's Shabbat. If you can keep all that track of all that, that's wonderful. We have somebody in our shul who gets very upset if somebody does the Friday night nusach on Saturday morning. I'm just glad they're up there leading. And that person should be up there leading it correctly too. Just say.
When I take my Talmud class, after we study Talmud, at the end, if we have a minyan, we say the Kaddish de Rabbanan because it's said after you study a bit of Torah.
Well, I'm really glad that we aren't doing that during Makom B'Yachad, because it's quite a mouthful if you don't know it.
It takes a while to get comfortable with it.
Yes, it does. So, yes.
What is the Kaddish Shalem?
Kaddish Shalem is the full Kaddish that we say
okay.
at the end of Musaf. There's a couple other places too.
Okay.
So this is the half Kaddish, and you'll notice it's not as long. It's half the Kaddish. So we'll take turns, we'll go through, we'll give people different chances to read. So let's do, maybe everybody take 2 lines and we'll go through it. Would someone like to start with the first 2 lines? Thank you, Elaine.
Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ba'alma divra kirute.
Beautiful. We're going to look at what it means afterwards. Would someone like to read the next 2 words?
All right, I will.
Thank you, Corinne.
V'yamlich malchutei b'yikon.
All right, hold, let's go back and look at that. Let's take that apart. Letter by letter.
By, and then there's 2 yuds, right?
Right, but we need to get this second chet in there, or the chet in there.
Bacha.
Yep.
Yay. Kon.
There's no dot in there, so he's got a scratchy voice. Bechaye kon. So that's how I teach my kids that if there's a cough drop in there, he's got a cough. He's going kuh, kuh. But if he doesn't have a cough drop, his voice is scratchy.
Okay. B'chai kon.
One more time.
B'chaye kon. Kon.
There you go.
Uv yomei kon.
Good.
Am
One
I
more
carrying
line.
on or?
Yeah, next line.
Because I've done 2.
Oh, that
No,
was
I
2.
have-
You have another one.
Uvechaye Chol Beit Yisrael.
Good job. Lots of spitting. We Jews do a lot of spitting when we pray. Someone like to read the next 2 lines? Hannah, do you want to read the next 2?
I'll give it a try.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Ve'agala uvizman koriv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam U'Lamei Alemin. Wait a
Try
minute.
that last word.
Yes, I'm going to try the last three if you don't mind.
Sure.
That's okay. Ul al May.
Yep.
Okay. Ul al May al Maya.
Excellent. Next two lines. I want to say Lori. It's not Lori. Yeah.
It is.
Go for it, Lori.
Vayit Barach, Vayish Tabat,
Hold on. Let's look at the end of that word.
Vayish Tabach,
There you go.
Vayit Pa'ar, Vayit Roman, Vayit Naseh. They keep going.
Was that two?
Hadar, no. Vayit Ale, Vayit Halal, Shemei Dekudisha. Keep going.
Last two words.
Barich Hu.
Nice job. Now this next part, you'll see there's a substitution. We just did this on the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Just adds an extra word. It repeats it, but we won't do that today. I won't read
year.
Once a year is enough. All right. Would someone like to go? Maureen.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nehemata.
I always say that, but read it one more time.
V'nechamata.
Good.
Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen.
How many of you say da'ami, or what was the word?
V'nehemata.
V'nehemata. That's what I say. But it's actually v'nechamata. But I'm just wondering if it was different in a book growing up. I doubt it. Prayer's been around for many, many, many years. Would someone like
so many Kaddishes?
Because they serve different functions. This one is to separate parts of the service. I'll have to find out what's different. I know what's different between the regular Kaddish and the mourner's Kaddish, but I have to find out. Good question for the rabbi tonight. Why the full Kaddish? What's the what? I'll find out.
Thank you. Your poor rabbi is gonna be bothered.
No, we have a man who's was the ritual director, and he just loves me to ask him questions. So he'll be so happy.
Oh,
all right, would somebody
is the full Kaddish the mourner's Kaddish?
No.
Which one is the mourner's Kaddish?
The mourner's Kaddish, and we're going to talk about what's different when we look at them. The mourner's Kaddish is just what you say if you're in mourning or having a yard site. The full Kaddish is a little different. Would someone like to read the Hatzi Kaddish to us in English?
I'll read it.
Thanks, Terry. Was that you, Terry, who said that?
I said it, but Terry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just heard box lit up.
Oh.
Terry, did you want to read it?
That's fine. May God's great name be exalted and hallowed throughout the created world, as is God's wish. May God's sovereignty soon be established in your lifetime and in your days, and the days of all the house of Israel. And we say, Amen. May God's great name be acknowledged forever and ever. May the name of the Holy One be acknowledged and celebrated, lauded and worshiped, exalted and honored, extolled and acclaimed. Though God, who is blessed, is truly far beyond all acknowledgement and praise, or any expressions of gratitude or consolation ever spoken in the world. And we say, Amen.
Boy, that's quite a praise of God, isn't it?
Yes.
Debbie,
Svia?
Debbie, yeah, the Hatzi Kaddish and the Kaddish Shalom are both pure Hebrew, and the mourner's Kaddish is Aramaic. Is that correct?
I They all have the same
The same thing?
word,
So-
so it's, they would all be the same, but it could be